welcome back to the Trading Lab. Today is Monday the 28th of April. Time is of course 10:32, and the pairs I'm going to be talking to you guys as well about today as well from Monday. Of course I'm going to let this video go on to the private group chat, and then of course release this video on YouTube on Wednesday. But I'm going to talk about a few pairs. I'm going to talk about gold, of course, my favorite pair. I'm going to talk about Euro USD, USDJPY, and I'm going to squeeze Bitcoin into it just because Bitcoin is breaking a certain type of high that I want to talk to you guys about, and just to keep your eyes on the market as well throughout this week as well. So let's just go for the first pair I'm going to talk to you guys about real quickly. I'm going to talk to you about Euro USD. So we're going to start with Euro USD first. Now, if I was going to mark the chart up now, I'll make sure, like, of course, I've cleaned up the whole charts before I actually, showed you guys exactly what's going on right now. So I'm going to start marking up the charts with you guys. First of the week, I got my shades on as well because, the weather's nice today as well. The UK's weather is nice today. It's hitting 21. So that's why you see me with the shades on, After I'm done with this video, I'm going to go to the garden and try to get some sunlight, enjoy the sun, But like what I was saying to you guys, man, so that we had highs that were being broken over here. I told you guys about this one. This was 2 weeks ago. This happened 2 weeks ago, about the three taps that always happens before, like, there's about to be a breakout. So now we have a BOS, a break of structure over here, right? Cool. So now what we need to do now is just kind of like mark this low over here up, right here. Yeah, I forgot I can do that, but yeah. So we're gonna put the arrow over here because we know we have buyers that's obviously here camping, pushing the price up. Let me turn this into black quickly. Of course, if price comes down to below 1.12 with Euro USD, initially that will be a nice time to get into a nice little long position entry, right? But when we're looking at this structure right now in the market, we can see the lows are not getting broken on a 4 hours time frame. So I'm going to break it down to see exactly what's going on, because right now we are in session. Yeah, we are in session. And to check and to find out how you're going to go in sessions to see if you're in sessions or not, I advise you guys to have at least like this site in your tab as well. It's the Forex market hours. So it tells you when you're in sessions as well. Right now, London is at 10:35 a.m. So you can see this arrow over here. This shows you that we're in session right now. So New York session is going to be next around 12:53 p.m. So they're going to start at 7:53 a.m. So that's how you're going to tell you're in sessions, and so on and so on. But yeah, let's get to it. So I want to go on a 1 hour time frame to see exactly what's going on with the market. So like you see, when you see price, like with price action right now, we can see that if I want to mark this up and I go on my line chart and I want to mark this up, I go to the 1 hour time frame and then I say, okay, cool. We have strong sellers over here next to the supply area over here pushing price up, but you can see that we had a breakthrough. And now with this breakthrough, we can say, okay, cool, we have a nice target that we can be aiming for right over here. Yeah. So now the question is, how do we get into a trade to get to that target, right? So it's Monday. I wouldn't advise you to make any type of moves on Monday right now because the market is open, it's fresh. You want to have actually just be patient enough to see what's going on. That's why we're marking up the charts to see exactly what's going on in the market. So now I'm looking at this low and this low and this low. I'm not too convinced that price, buyers are actually pushing the price up right now, because we can see this high, this high, this high are coming down gradually. So we can see there's a little flag that's happening right now. So a flag. So if I want to mark it up and show you what I mean when I say a flag, we can see there's a little bull flag that's happening right now over here. There's a little consolidation that's happening right now. So it's something to just be patient enough to wait to see exactly what's going to happen, whether we have price that just does something like where price goes up and then goes all the way down and heads back down before heading back up. Does that make sense? Because it's a Monday, something like that can happen, you know. So you don't want to be too like in a rush to get yourself in a trade just because the market just opened. You see a nice position, you have a nice little goal where you can hit to get at. You just want to wait a little bit, especially on a Monday. Like I'm always going to say on a Monday, because even though a trade might look beautiful and it looks like a nice setup, you can be potentially in a drawdown, and that can affect you from getting into other nice setup trades just because you're trying to get out of that drawdown. You get what I'm saying to you? So it's just best for you to just wait, because this is a little consolidation on a 1 hour time frame. We don't really know what's going on. So basically with this trade, if I go into this trade and I say, okay, cool, where should I put my stop loss? I'm not going to put my stop loss here. I'm not going to put my stop loss here. I also don't want to put my stop loss here, because ideally I would like to be entered into a trade around this zone area and potentially put my stop loss here where I can feel comfortable, you know. But over here, I wouldn't want to put my stop loss here. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's a thing where you can have to just wait. And sometimes a lot of people are impatient. You go into your 30 minutes time frame. The same thing with the 30 minutes time frame. There's no clear direction. You can say to yourself you want to make an entry here, but where are you going to put your stop loss? That's the most important thing as well. So with Euro USD, my advice is just to kind of wait, because I do feel like price is going to drop down a little bit, and then we can get it for more of a cheaper price and then follow upwards. So, because when I go to the day time frame, we can see there's a nice little structure with the day time frame. You can see the low over here that ain't been broken. You've got another low over here also, but you never know what can happen. That price can come down, break this low, come down, you know, float around this area and then continue going upwards. As long as it doesn't break this low, we're good. So that's another thing that you can be looking for, but that's why patience is so important. Hey, like this, you got to think out the box and think, okay, what would a new beginner do if they was trading? Would they see a setup and say, okay, cool, let me go for the setup, knowing full well that you know that potentially when you're getting priced a little bit too high, there's a potential that price can drop. You don't want to be when it drops. You want to be there when it drops, and you catch it when it drops, and then it continue upwards, and you can feel comfortable to actually just let your trade just run. So that's out of my experience. That's the way I will navigate situations. You know what I mean? Because the money ain't going nowhere. USDJPY, beautiful setup. Last week I spoke about USDJPY. I sent it into my private group chat, the entry that I went in, and we caught the trade. And it was a thing where it was like, ideally, usually I thought, you know, looking at the market structure of USDJPY, I was like, it can be, but it might not be, due to the news and due to all the little fugaziness that's going on in the world, you know. But I was just like, ooh, there's a possibility that it might be. So I'll show you what I was looking at. So over here, yeah, cool. We can see that every time when price comes down to this level, it bounces back up, right? So that's what we do. We trade price actions, and we try to find the support and make an entry and look for an exit, you know, which will be the target, right? So I was like, all right, cool. On a day time frame, I'm looking at this structure right now. I'm saying, all right, when price comes around this level, it bounces back up. Around this level, it bounces back up. Around this level, it bounces back up. So common sense will tell me there's no point trying to go for like a short position just because price is falling. What happened? Price bounce back up. So now this week is about, okay, cool. We know that prices bounce back up. Where can we catch the trade now? Where can we make an entry that we can feel comfortable to say, yeah, I like this position that I'm going to make an entry at? Yeah, because look at it like this. We have the support over here on a day time frame, right? We have the support right here in the day time frame, right? And this is something to work with in a day time frame, especially with USDJPY, right? So now when we go on a 4 hours time frame, we go on a candlestick, go on a 4 hours time frame. We have this to work with, right? 4 hours time frame. Black. So 4 hours time frame, we have this to work with, right? You can see that support got broken over here. Prices gradually probably might come back down a bit because it's Monday, right? So now the next thing to do is wait and see exactly what's going to happen. If price comes down to this area, then we can make an entry and use this area as a support, right? So we'll go on a 1 hour time frame and see what this support looks like. This is a nice little area of a support right here. This is what I'm looking at, guys. Right here as a potential stop loss, and around here will be the entry, right, for USDJPY, because I'm looking at the whole structure of it on the day time frame, and I'm saying I am from analyzing the market, I am betting for it to go upwards, continue upwards, then going down. Forget about what's going on in the news. I'm looking at the chart and looking at price action. That's the most important thing. So I'm looking at it and saying to myself, okay, cool. I'm thinking it's an uptrend. I know it's going to be an uptrend from now. And if it's not, then it is what it is. But it's all about just following price action and seeing exactly what's going on in the market. And you can see that price is going up. But we're going to have a little correction that's going to happen with USDJPY. So it's just a point to wait and see exactly what happens and see where we can make an entry and follow the trade. And, you know, realistically, I am going to say with USDJPY, stay in a long position only. Until when you get kicked out of the market, if price continues to fall past down of the level of 140.497, then you can reconsider changing whatever ideology thoughts you might have in the market. But for now, stay on just long position with these pair. That's what I'm going to be doing until that support systems gets broken, and then I can be like, all right, cool, let me change my bias to something else. But that's just a realistic opinion, you know. Because at the end of the day, we can't see the future, but we can see the past of what price has done, and that's the most important. That's the most important thing when trading. But yeah, gold. You know I was going to talk about gold though. So with gold, we can see that gold is falling. So this is a nice little support area over here on a day time frame that we're looking at right now. So over here, I'm looking at this area over here. So of course, if price breaks this, then we know that, you know, it's a beautiful entry point. But if price doesn't, then it's still a win-win. I'm on a drawdown. I'm not gonna lie, I'm on a drawdown. Last week I went a bit too early before the gap I was telling you guys about. Remember I told you guys about the gap that happened the week before last week? So over here, and you see how price has filled this gap in. So I'm still on a drawdown from over here, right? So I've entered over here, and you know there's a little bit of drawdown happening right now. But like I said, I did say that was going to happen also. I said that price was going to probably do something like where, you know, it comes down, boom, 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 and does all of that before heading upwards. So, like, we'll see if I'm right. But with gold, with my experience of trading gold, most likely that's probably going to happen, you know. This is a 4 hours time frame. This is a support. This is a nice, strong, solid time frame for me to mark up the chart and feel comfortable in. So if supports are getting broken by price, then I can be like, all right, cool. It seems like price is going to be falling some more. And it's a great opportunity for other people to pick it up from where it's falling from. So it's just a win-win anyway with gold, with trading with gold. This is why gold is my favorite pair. It's just one of my favorite pair to trade. I just love trading gold. I always win with trading gold, and it is what it is, isn't it? And it's not even a cocky thing. It's just when you're trading, when you find certain pairs that you can get along with, stick to it. Just perfect it. Obviously, still trade other pairs as well, do you know what I mean? But if that's your home, innit? And it is what it is. So from around this area over here, I'll be looking to pick it up pick it up from, and then of course use this bit over here. If price continue to come down past around here, then potentially get out the trade, you know, and eventually use this over here. If I go on a 1 hour time frame, I can see, yeah. Let me see what's going on over here. So price cans do come back down a little bit to 3,196, and then starts to reverse. You know, like I say, I'll say it again, because it's Monday and the market just opened. You know, a few people are definitely going to go for shorts, but you don't want to go for shorts and get get kicked out the market, because it's still a strong bull run. You know, so with gold, so be mindful of it. You can go for like a short position if you choose to go for a short position, but you should be getting that around, you know, I'll say around this next support over here, at least like 3,212. You should be getting that at that, and your stop loss should be, if so, 3,325 if you was gonna go for a short position. So for those that don't understand what I'm talking about, I'll do it for you so you see what I mean. So, cause I'm not gonna go for a short, so I'm trying to go for a long, because I'm trying to go for more of a longer reach than a shorter reach. So that's why I'm not going for a short position, and plus I'm gonna draw down anyway, so I wouldn't want to do that. But for those that's new, I'll do something like this, you know, go for like a quick lick, you know, go for like a quick click, something like this, go for like quick short. But you know, I'm not a financial advisor, I just want to put that out there. But if I wanted to go for a short, I would have went for a short like this. But because I don't want to go for a short like this, I'd rather go for a long position. I'd rather wait, be patient, and wait for another position for entry, and then enter the trade and go for a long position, than going for a quick shorts. You know, sometimes you can go for a quick shorts and put yourself in a situation where you don't want to put yourself in. So just keep that in mind. You know, it's not always about the first opportunity that you see, you take, and then that opportunity that you take puts you in a drawdown where the real opportunity that you want comes in line and you can't take it because you're stuck in a drawdown. So keep that in mind. So with gold, it's a patient game as well. Also, it's Monday, so we'll see how everything goes. And of course, I'm gonna hit you guys up as well on Wednesday with another forecast to see how everything's going and see what setups that can be presented to us at that time as well. So don't worry, I got you guys. Definitely got you guys on that one. Around this area over here, yeah, right here, where the support is, around 75k. This was a nice little support area. There's another support area that's been made over here, which is good, fantastic with Bitcoin, right? Now, I was looking over here at this high over here, which has been broken as well. So there's a BOS, there's a break of structure that's happened right here. Right, cool. So now, if I go on a candlestick to see exactly what's going on with Bitcoin, you have a strong pull to the upside. So if we break it all down, we can see that there's supports that's being made. You have buyers pushing price up. So now what I'm looking right now with Bitcoin is, if price continue to push past this price 95k, then we might be looking at a nice strong reversal that's about to happen with Bitcoin. And Bitcoin might not come back down to the price that initially I told you guys in the beginning, 75k, right? So if it breaks past this point over here, then we might be looking at a nice bull run that's about to happen, because over here it's a nice little support area that can also be used potentially for the future if we want to mark up the chart. So for right now, the reason why I wanted to touch on Bitcoin right now, because it's actually looking like there's about to be a nice solid bull run with Bitcoin. So keep that in mind, guys. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video. Of course, if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay blessed.